fuck your ass, make you humble.
Hey y'all, I'm Moonshiner Josh, and you're watching Sanitarium with my boy Leatherface. Y'all keep on shining now.
Welcome to the Sanitarium with Leatherface.
This is Officer Bird, and you're traveling to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. At the signpost up ahead, your next stop, the Sanitarium with Leatherface.
That's me. What's up, peoples? Thank you for tuning in to Season 2 of the Sanitarium with Leatherface. That's me, by the way. Yeah, my voice is a little weird. I was sick a while back and never fully got my voice back, so guess I'm getting that Wolfman Jack voice, huh? Yeah, Wolfman Jack, yeah. Y'all probably too young to know what the hell that is, huh? Yeah, so episode 1, season 2. We got the round table, all new round table. Got rid of some of the jackasses that were around. Got a new round table. I'm also co-hosted with Mr. Phil here. Go ahead and bring Phil on. What's up, Phil?
How you doing, Wolfman Leatherface?
Wolfman Leatherface.
Oh.
So here's my co-host for the Sanitarium,
Right
Mr.
on.
Phil. Not to be confused with Dr. Phil.
No.
So tonight, we have about the Ewok. You've seen him on Moonshiners, Appalachian Outlaws. Got a little scene from that here after the first commercial here. Then we're going to bring him on, talk about some distilling and some Bigfoot and some ghosts, some zombies, some zombie strippers. Huh?
The scene you're talking about, I don't think I've seen this one. It sounds to me kind of like a Blair Witch, Appalachian Blair Witch situation.
That's exactly what it reminds me of. So I'm definitely gonna use this one. So, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and roll into our first little commercial here, and we'll be back with a little clip, and we go from there. Shake and bake.
The best fudge comes from Uranus. Oh. Uranus, Missouri.
That felt good.
Tastes even better.
Wow. Deep in the crack of America's heartland, the citizens of Uranus are bursting to give you their amazing fudge. That's right, fudge from Uranus. I'm not fudging with you. We're literally in Uranus. That's the mayor of Uranus, and you can get your fudge out the back door at UranusGeneralStore.com.
And we're not fudging with you. I'm as serious as a fudging horse kick to the side of your fudging head.
I am as serious as forgetting your fudging anniversary.
I'm serious as skid marks on your fudging undies.
I'm serious as fudging a pregnancy test.
I'm serious as fudging the presidential election. I'm serious as fudging the bar exam.
Uranus squeezes out so many different fudges that they have a fudge for everyone. They got blueberry fudge, chocolate fudge, vanilla fudge, chocolate pecan fudge, mint chocolate fudge, cookies and cream fudge, peanut butter fudge, M&M fudge, toffee bar fudge. There's a fudge for everyone. Right now I'm making the mayor's #2 favorite flavor of fudge. You can try some at UranusGeneralStore.com. Click now.
That is some yummy fudge from Uranus.
The best fudge does come from Uranus, Mr. Mayor. That's my dad. Go to UranusGeneralStore.com and order the best fudge and fudge this side of the Mississippi. And the other fudge inside, too. We can't contain it anymore. Uranus is about to explode across your screen and your front door.
Ooh, fudge!
Quit prairie dogging and order the best fudging fudge ever. Hey, Mr. Prairie Dog. So if digging for fudge in Uranus isn't your thing, then bring your fingers over here. Uranus offers a lot more than fudge. They got fudging magnets. They got fudging hats and the hottest fudging calendars of Uranus you've ever fudging seen. Ooh, that's cool. But if you ask me what the best part about Uranus is, other than the fudge in Uranus, it's the fudging shirts. Fudge not, lest ye be fudged first. Fudge, 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 fudge. Want to see more of Uranus? Come see the amazing attractions like
the Moonicorn Creamery and Funnel Cakery.
Fudge It Great.
Escape Uranus escape rooms.
Fudgerific.
Uranus Sideshow Museum.
Hot fudge.
Chicken Bones Party Bar and Grill.
Fudge, yeah. So quit fudging around. How many more times do I need to say fudge to get you to order some fudge and fudge? Seriously, Uranus can't hold this fudge forever, so you might as well order some fudge today, for fudge's sakes. Go to UranusGeneralStore.com and order your fudge today. Or come down here and drop some deuces yourself. Peace.
Welcome to Uranus! Let's make Uranus great again.
Fudge, yeah. Fudge, 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 fudge. Fudge.
Whoa, 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 don't touch that. Hold up. Holy this has been some type of pagan ritual. You see how this is in the shape of a pentagram? White and red candles.
They're probably scared of the dark.
Different candles hold different powers, etc. Hey, whoa, don't cut that stuff down. We don't need no bad juju.
That ain't no bad juju. Hell with that. That's ginseng. That's going on me. What do you think about that?
Boy, I don't want to deal with your karma.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
That stuff was left here some type of soul cleansing. You just went...
It cleans my soul when I sell it and I get me some groceries out of it. Bad juju my ass.
So into the whole juju thing. I guarantee in a scary movie, that guy's gonna die first.
Oh, I don't know. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna die first. So without further ado, Ewok, what's up?
How's it going, Leatherface?
How you doing, man?
How's it going, Phil?
Good.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
So that was definitely some Blair Witch Project shit. So as soon as you said that, I started laughing. That first little thing hanging in the tree there, I'm like, yeah, that's Blair Witch shit. Someone's gonna be standing in the corner of a basement somewhere, staring at the wall. That's gonna be the end of that movie. And it's not gonna be you, because you're like, don't do it, don't do it. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna pull the ginseng off, and yeah, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, trying to save the guy's life and everything. He's just
he's gone. So yeah, Phil, you were dead on with the Blair Witch thing. So
I thought that was fantastic, though, when you said that, when you were pointing out the candles and the pentagram, and he goes, "They's probably afraid of the dark."
I think up in those mountains area, I'm more afraid of a Bigfoot or more afraid of a lion, mountain lion of some kind. Or I don't think they have mountain lion out here. I think it's mostly bobcats and shit, bears and bobcats, which I don't want to deal with those things either. So,
no, Florida panther, got black bear. I had a bobcat in my backyard about a month ago.
Oh, jeez. Well, here we are, Saturday, the Saturday before Halloween.
Ooh.
And so my question to you is, you're making the shine. You're out in the wilderness. It's dark. You got a little buzz going. How are you testing some jars out? I've been there. I know what's up. But I'm pretty sure being out in the wilderness, buzzed or not, I've seen things buzzed or not, that you saw some stuff. So I'm gonna give you the floor and tell me about some scary stories while you're making some moonshine.
Well, probably the scariest would be the back of your mind where it's always is the law going to come rolling in? Are they going to roll in on me and sneak up on me?
Life of the stoner, my friend.
I've had different animals kind of get close. The smell, especially if you're running like a brandy, where it smells like you're baking an apple pie out in the middle of the woods.
Oh yeah.
But the cool thing is most of the animals, once they realize there's a human there, they don't want no part of it. Black bears, the worst thing you got to worry about with them is if they got cubs and you get between them and their cubs. So people walking in, people that I know that know where I am, and not necessarily being expecting them. There have been people got guns pulled on them before, because I heard stuff coming and kind of slipped off and hid and come out and
get ready to lay it down. Yeah, fuck around and find out. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I used to grow some cannabis back in the day. I grew a lot of it actually. And that was always the same fear. Just sitting there, oh man, you're tending to your plants. You're it's close to harvest time, and you're just waiting for someone to come in there and steal your shit. And it was bad. People would dig little 3-foot holes under fences just to sneak in there to grab a couple stems off.
Yep.
So definitely a horror story. You wonder when the cops are gonna decide they're not happy with it no more and come in there and mess with you. Then you got all the other people that want to check it out too. So I feel you on that. But let's get a little deeper down the rabbit hole. I want to hear about some scary stuff that's not quite from, doesn't have a badge or ABC on it or anything like that. I want to hear some stuff.
Well, 2 times in my life, once in California and once here in East Tennessee, I have came across footprints. In 2020, I was in California, and outside of a little town called LaPorte, which when I say it's a little town, I mean in the summertime it's a ghost town and it's a snowmobile mecca in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a fire burning into town, and 2 other engines and us had went out to scout these old logging roads about putting up a defense in that area. And we had parked and we had walked out one of these roads about a mile. And in walking out the road, on the left side of the road, there was a little creek and then wilderness out beyond that. So as we're coming back in to where our trucks were parked, there's this footprint that it came up out of the creek, had stepped onto the road, and then the next step was just the heel print disappearing where the road met the brush again. And it was wet, so it had stepped in the creek. I took a picture of it, and I'll have to see if I can't dig it out and send it to you. But our radios are already about, I don't know, probably close to a foot long, and then probably another foot long antenna on it. And I laid my radio down beside of it and took a picture of how big the footprint actually was. And it was almost as big as the radio and the antenna put together. And then 2 years ago, when I was still working for Tennessee Division of Forestry here in Tennessee, we were in our state forest, and it had snowed. We went in to make sure there weren't trees across the roads and all that. And there was probably 18-inch footprints that came out of the woods, crossed the road, disappeared back up into the woods. And there was rhododendron and mountain laurel broke off 5.5, 6 feet up, or whatever it was, and went back into the woods. And probably a 4-foot stride between the footprints. So those are my two, and I want to see one.
Northern California is. I mean, I have pictures. I went camping with a buddy. Went to a spot and was beating on trees and doing a bunch of new things that he never tried. When he's been going there for a while. Can't remember what the town was called, but it was northern, up in the mountains. I got pictures. There was rocks stacked. There was silhouettes of things throwing these big old rocks in the streams in front of us, and it was scary. I mean, everybody wants to find Bigfoot. Everybody wants to hunt down, find Bigfoot, but what are you gonna do when you find him? And I got a picture. I had to take a shit, so I had to go up there above the camp and take a shit. And I looked over to my left, and I saw it behind a tree, watching the camp. I was like, "Holy shit!" I got a picture of it. I should have uploaded it. I'm stupid, but I got a picture of it.
Hours is it makes you have to take a shit, so you can't get to your camera.
Oh, I definitely pinched it off when I saw that. So it was spaghetti string. It was spaghetti strings after that. So
everything puckered up real quick once you saw an 8-foot.
Yeah, it was angel hair after that, buddy. That was it.
the first set of prints you saw, Ewok, that was Northern California, you said?
Northern California, outside of a little town called LaPorte. I guess the closest town to there would either be Quincy, maybe even Chico, being a little bit south of there.
Okay, so you're up in the mountains up there. Oh yeah.
I was just wondering maybe if like Shaq had been jogging in the area, left some footprints. You know, he was.
It's definitely in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, it was the only time I ever saw anything like that, and I tried sending some pictures to some friends. I'm like, look, I got it's like a big ass gorilla out in the middle of the damn forest here, and telling people you saw Bigfoot or an alien or anything, ghosts, get the best responses at first.
Have you seen those hoax videos where the guy actually gets shot or like hit by a car?
No.
That's the scary thing is some of the people who went out there and tried to hoax a video and get somebody in the suit. Put the poor sucker in the suit ends up or in the hospital.
Well, I did find a video of this guy. He's pretty weird. And I downloaded a couple of videos of it where he has body parts of it, and it's pretty cool looking. Then the third video, I downloaded it, and it was we'll get into that first. I want to ruin a bit. We'll go ahead and watch a bit of the first video right now, and I want your guys' opinion on it. You ready? All right, check this shit out.
You can tell the immense size of the creature by comparing it to my head. My father shot the Bigfoot in 1953. They had to cut it up to get it out of the swamp. I have all the body parts. When my father passed away, that was given to me. It's been very expensive for my father, my family, to keep the Bigfoot, frozen for that many years. It was always in a commercial freezer. It's always wrapped up, with several layers to keep it, it looks in pretty good shape considering that it's been frozen for 65 years. Now let me take the camera in so that you guys can look closer at the Bigfoot. It's, by the way, I've taken a lot of shit on my YouTube channel, people saying that I'm always making jokes. This is not real. This is real. Not everything in my life is a joke. This Bigfoot head, the Bigfoot, I've showed the Bigfoot's feet, its arms, its penis. I've shown a lot of the Bigfoot. That's real. Not everything's a joke. Yeah, I do joke around, but this is not a joke. This is real. Check it out. You can see it has a lot of ice on it. It has remained frozen. You can see its eyeball there. This is very heavy. It weighs about 120 pounds, so I can't move it by myself. I have to have somebody help me move it. There's a lot of debris still frozen in it. I have somebody here to help me move it so that we can see the other side.
Yeah, that's just the first one. It's laughable. It's laughable. But it was. I saw it like probably like a couple of years ago. I was like, man, that was kind of interesting. Other than the PVC pipe, shoved up his bottom of his neck going up.
Well, yeah, but he claims to have Bigfoot or not or whatever that giant's penis. The question is, are all the body parts separate, and why? They
said they had to chop it into pieces to get it out of the swamp. It was so big.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to cut the dick off. I'm just wondering, like, how far did they go with it with this guy? And does he have them all wrapped up in paper? Like it's a butcher shop or something? And then
that's a very good question. That'll lead us to the second clip here. Check this out.
Well, on a hunting trip, my father with his friend Morty Lucas and a hunting guide, they came across some Sasquatch that my father and Morty and the hunting guide felt like they were being attacked, so they protected themselves. Now, since my father passed away, I have the only physical proof of Bigfoot and Sasquatch. There has been a lot of conjecture that these aren't real, that I made them. Now, straight up, I can make some stuff, but I can't make anything that looks like this. This doesn't even look like anything that I would make. It looks like something that was either made by an ET or God. It depends on how you feel about existence. Now, this summer, I'm gonna make sure that we go over all this, the Bigfoot body parts. We're gonna get up close and personal. I'm gonna spend a lot of time on cryptids and in particular Bigfoot and Sasquatch. Now, Bigfoot and Sasquatch, I call them two different things because they are very similar creatures, okay? But there's sort of different species of Bigfoot and Sasquatch. And some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. Now, the Sasquatch I refer to as the bigger ones. That is what my father and Morty came across on their hunting trip.
That's what she said. Sorry, I had to. So we have another Bigfoot story. Paul Dale Roberts, paranormal investigator, extreme author, have a lot of books out, been on all sorts of TV shows. He'll be on here with us halfway for the roundtable. He has a good Bigfoot story for us too. But
I wanted to ask Ewok if I could. You got any where you grew up? Were there any local legends? I grew up in kind of southern New Jersey, and so we grew up with the New Jersey Devil and all of those stories. And then when I was in the Marine Corps in combat training, they told us about the Lizard Man in North Carolina. I just wondered if you guys had any local cryptids, as they're calling them these days, besides Bigfoot or Skunk Ape, something with the Lizard Man or the Devil or whatever.
So I live in East Tennessee now, but I grew up in Western North Carolina and the South Mountain area, to be exact. And there is one there that the folks call Barney. And he never saw any proof of him living over there. But he is the one that people talk about there. He's the one that people say they have seen. And he's not quite as tall. He's a darker color, almost black instead of brown. I've got a picture somewhere that someone says that they got off of a trail cam there, and I'll have to see if I can't find that also. And then around here, more of it's sighted just across the border into western North Carolina, around the Hot Springs, North Carolina area. I say the most believable Bigfoot story I've ever heard comes from there. That's just simply because the man never said he saw a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. He was a preacher, and he said that his dog was just going off, and he walked out on the front porch, and from between his barn and his shed walked the largest, hairiest, naked man he had ever seen in his life. And said it walked across the field and stepped across a 5-strand barbed wire fence and disappeared into the woods. And that's 25 minutes from me via drive.
Are we sure it wasn't Josh Owens on a drunken night?
Well, very well it could have been. My wife said a few times that if I ever run into Bigfoot, I ain't got to worry. They're just going to adopt me and think that I'm a baby Bigfoot and go to take me in.
Just hand them a jar and make it their baba, and you'd be good to go.
Yep.
That's I grew up in New Jersey. We always had stories about the Pine Barrens, which is I think it's the largest forest on the East Coast. And the Jersey Devil was the big one there, but there was also supposed to be some group of like giants that lived back there, and also a whole population of albinos called the Jackson Whites or Pineys. My grandfather used to call them Pineys. He used to say, "Don't get caught out on Route 70 at night, because the Pineys will get you." So it's cool to hear about Barney.
The Jersey Devil. I've heard about that one.
Do you know that story?
Yeah.
There's actually a place supposed to be where he was born called Leeds Point in Smithsville, New Jersey. There's supposed to be actually a grave there. Had a headstone and a footstone. The footstone says he lives again.
Oh, jeez.
In the 20s and 30s, it was all sorts of crazy, like real sightings that they would put in the newspapers and shit. It's kind of funny that there was like a little bit of a craze for a certain period of time about it. So it's funny. I think we're the only like professional sports team that has a team named after a cryptid. I think. I don't know, unless there's some town that has Bigfoot or the Sasquatches that I don't know.
Well, definitely loving to talk about the Bigfoot, but I do want to switch it up to ghosts as we get ready to go into our second half of the hour. Ghost stories. I mean, you're out distilling, making liquor. Other than the hairy beasts running around, you had to have seen some ghosts, or have you heard from some other moonshiners about some ghosts? I tried to get the old schoolers on here. They're not too into the paranormal, so I couldn't get them on. But ghosts, tell me what you got.
So the house I live in is haunted. There's a man, a woman, and a little girl. I have never seen the man. I have seen the woman and the little girl. My wife has seen the man and the little girl, but she's never saw the woman. I saw the woman on multiple occasions now. It's just been enough times now that I can't say this, and this time. And I did that up until it's just, I guess, I don't know. I've seen her a bunch of times now. First time I ever saw her, though, I walked into the bathroom, and she was just standing in the bathroom, and then she just faded into nothing.
That's a terrible place for confrontation, too, with a female ghost. You're sitting around in a chair, sitting there rubbing one out, and a female ghost walks in. That sucks.
Right.
I just think about The Shining, that whole scene when he walks into the bathroom and she's a beautiful woman getting out of the tub, and then all of a sudden what she turns into once he's making out with her.
Oh, the old ass lady.
Yeah. That's the idea of anybody being in the bathroom when you walk in there just gives me the creeps.
I guess if you're into that, it'd be a double win for you, but
Right?
I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't think that wouldn't work for me.
I was going to ask about those the bricks behind you or that stone. How old is the house you lived in?
Okay, so there's a crazy story with my house. And of course, there is with anything in my life, it seems like. So the property that we have now is up in an area called Carson Springs. And until the mid to late 60s, the only people that owned property up in here were the uber wealthy around where I live. That ain't so much the case anymore. But so the lady that owned our property, her name was Luella Kiker, and that's who I think I see in the house. But at the edge of our property on the upstream side of the creek, there was a dam there, and this whole area was a resort. And that dam created the swimming hole for the resort. Well, in 1933, a flood broke the dam. She had a pool dug in what is now our front yard, diverted the creek into the pool, and then back out of the pool back into the creek bed. So the downstairs of our house, the living room and the kitchen, was built around 1933, 1934, and it was the pool house for the pool. And that was the first pay-to-swim swimming pool in Cotton County, Tennessee. So the chimney is part of the originals of the house, which was the downstairs. And then the deed says the rest of the house was built in 1966. But this rock work is by far older than 1966. And all the work downstairs is definitely older than 1966. As we've done remodeling, and this is actually in state of part of a remodel, but I exposed this chimney when we first bought the house. I came in this room, which I'm in my wife's art studio. I came in this room, I was like, okay, there is something behind this wall. This wall should not be here.
Oh, boy.
And, of course, I did the thing that winds up, if it was in a movie, I'd probably got killed. I started tearing the wall out, and there's this big, beautiful rock chimney. So the chimney
and beneath the chimney,
now.
And beneath the chimney is an ancient burial ground.
Well, you also never know because the prohibition, you could cut on an old house, you could come across, a hidden room where somebody was hiding hooch, things like that.
There is a hidden room behind the chimney. Well, awesome. There was a hidden room behind the chimney. It's no longer there. We made that part of the closet now. These folks that I bought a still from that was on Marketplace on Facebook, they had bought a house, and the barn had started falling in, so they started pulling stuff out of this barn, and they found this still. And I wound up buying the still from them, but they had found a hidden room in the house that basically there was some type of lever system in one room, an entire wall in the other room opened up. So there was a lot of that, especially in the Appalachians, false floors where stuff was hidden under floors.
And it sounds like you have some hidden bodies underneath your chimney.
It's possible. My theory is that the little girl may have drowned here. I don't know.
Oh, great! So you have the ring situation,
right?
And the little girl is very, very nice though. She's a little mischievous. You can go to look for something and it won't be where you left it.
Oh.
And you can look and look and look and not find it. And if you ask very nicely to have it returned, hey, please, I need this, whatever. 10 or 15 minutes later, it'll be right back where you had left it.
See, you're a little too polite. First of all, you have a drowning. It makes you think of The Ring. I don't know if you've seen the movie The Ring or not. That's one of the very few horror movies that scared the shit out of me. So you have some mischief ghost girl who drowned in the house, and you're asking her nicely to return your ginseng. Now, that's not going to work out very well, man. I see some bad shit going down. We have to get Paul Dale. We need to get Paul Dale Roberts over there to do a paranormal investigation.
I think that the old woman and the little girl like me. And like I said, I've never had a run-in with the old man. My wife, though, she has been pushed twice.
Ooh.
One time, so my wife was a vet tech before she hurt her back. And this lady had brought a goose in that had a screwed up leg and was wanting to put the goose down. And my wife was like, hey, let me take the goose home with me, try to rehabilitate it. And if I can't rehabilitate it, then I'll just cook it. And that way, you're not putting poison in it and putting it in the landfill. So we've got a creek that runs through the property, and my wife had dammed up a little place where the goose could get out there and not have to necessarily walk on its leg, but could use its leg. And let me tell you, my wife got that goose where it could walk again. It walked funny, but she got the goose where it could walk in. She was sitting out there by the creek, her and her best friend, and she was kind of hunched down, squatted down with her feet on a rock. And she said something about that she didn't know if the goose was going to make it. She thought she was going to have to cook the goose. And somebody pushed her from behind.
Ooh.
And
the house blessed by a priest?
No, we've saged it a couple times. And the second time she was walking down the steps, going downstairs, and she was actually shit-talking me. Not that I didn't deserve it, because you can guarantee that 90% of the time she's shit-talking.
We never do. Yeah.
And something pushed her from behind. She didn't fall down the steps. But that's happened twice. And, we have a deal now. Don't matter if we're mad at each other or not. We don't shit-talk each other at home.
That's because you got to bless the house with sage and a nice jar of moonshine. And you just get the little water bottle and you put the shine there and you just go like that. And you just, rye apple, rye apple, rye apple. Get away from
it. Yourself a priest. They live for that kind of stuff. It's like the one time they feel useful.
Oh, jeez. All right, guys. We're going to go into our second commercial break, and we'll be right back with the roundtable. Shake and bake.
Okay.
Well, do you have the stuff or not? What do you mean you don't have it? Freaking deal! Where am I supposed to get it at? Fine. Well, then you do your thing! You have fudge.
What kind do you want?
Yeah. There's no need. Someone else is packing my fudge now.
What's up? We're back. And here is the second half hour of the show. I'd like to go ahead and bring on the rest of the round table. We got Paul Dale Roberts, at least half of a Paul Dale Roberts. Where's the rest of you?
It's right here.
That's right. You and Ewok both have the half body shots. I just got your
Hey,
floating.
Ewok, see this? California Department of Fish and Wildlife. I used to work with them, and I was a firefighter with California Division of Forestry, which is now Cal Fire. So,
yes.
And those guys, those wardens, and rangers, and everything else, they have a lot of Bigfoot stories.
Oh, I bet they do.
Right on.
Yep.
So we also have Executioner.
What's up, X?
What's going on,
We have Wrangler Dave.
Fuck your ass, make you humble.
Story later, I'm
Hey,
sure.
Dave.
Been there. Yeah.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
How's it going?
So the reason why I'm in my car is our local power company decided to kill the power to the whole neighborhood to replace a telephone pole.
Oh, how dare they?
They did it just to you.
I don't know if
said,
you
"Damn
guys
it."
can hear me.
We hear you.
We can hear you.
They're like, damn it, we want to piss off Wrangler Dave, so we're just going to cut his damn power out.
Just trying to screw up the show.
So Paul Dale Roberts, what do you think of the haunting going on at the Ewok residence?
Hey,
Yeah,
I mean, definitely. I mean, it sounds like something's going on. I wish I could be there physically and bring my equipment, find out what's going on, bring my psychic medium, Wishfire, and see what she can detect. I mean, that is really some stuff going on there.
I mean, I suggested moonshine and sage, but I'm sure they already did the sage part. But
Yeah.
so at least the little girl and the mom like Ewok is probably we don't know who's attacking the wifey. That could be the jealous mom ghost.
I'm just wondering if you guys can do a search and see if there anybody drowned at that swimming hole when it was an actual pool. That would have.
I'm working on that. I just found a historian that actually knows a lot about this area here in the county. So he is the guy that I have been sent to go talk to, and I intend on doing that. And said he would probably even have pictures of the old pool, because the pool got filled in by the people that owned the house before us. And I did find the sign in the attic that would have been at the end of our driveway that pointed to where we live. And here it is. You guys ready for what the name of the swimming hole was?
Yeah.
What's that?
Crystal Lake.
Oh damn it! I was just gonna make a joke. What, Crystal Lake?
Friday
I was
the
just gonna
13th.
say that too. Damn it!
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, so you probably need to pack your shit and move out of there as soon as possible. You got some girl from The Grudge in The Ring who drowned in a pool there called Crystal Lake. That's a combination. That's a combination between a little girl and Jason Voorhees. That's gonna be terrible.
Awesome. We didn't know Jason had a sister.
I didn't either, but that's a scary thought.
That's cool though, especially if you can find like a newspaper article from that time period. I know there's websites that a lot of authors use. Some of them you got to pay for, but you can search for that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. So we were talking about Bigfoots earlier, Paul, and you messaged me that I got a good Bigfoot story, so I would not deny you a Bigfoot story. So my friend, let it go.
Thank you, Leatherface. In fact, that was an investigation that you missed. We went to Mount Shasta. I brought about 6 investigators with me. We did a wood-on-wood type communication because Bigfoot is known to take a piece of wood and strike it against a tree. And so that's what I did. So I did 3 strikes against a tree, and right behind me was a creek. And in that creek, you can hear 3 rocks hitting the water. Well, bears don't throw rocks. And there was no people around us except the 6 investigators, which were right next to me. And I would have known if they threw a rock into the creek. And so I got a response, 3 hits, wood on wood, and then 3 drops of a rock into a creek. So I actually think that and Mount Shasta is known for Bigfoot, the last of the Lemurians, UFOs going into the Mount Shasta. I mean, anything that's mysterious. Even Count Saint Germain was seen there in 1932. So Mount Shasta is a very mystic mountain, and I think that was the closest I ever came to Bigfoot. And working with California Department of Fish and Wildlife, many hunters have told me that they have seen or encountered Bigfoot. So something's going on out there, definitely.
That's almost the same story I was talking about. My buddy I went camping with there never hit stuff against a tree like that. That was the first time doing that. And I honestly think that we were hitting wood against a tree, which is a beacon to the other families and Bigfoots out there. I think when they showed up, they were expecting other Bigfoots. I mean, they got there, it was us. Two drunken idiots there at the river hitting logs against the tree.
Yeah. Well, also too that we did an investigation at Skinwalker Ranch, and in fact, I went up there with two investigators, and we heard this screeching noise that was just weird. And maybe that was Bigfoot, I don't know, but I didn't see it. But it was a sound that I'm not familiar with. So we had that going on over there.
Ew. So what did you think about the Bigfoot videos we showed earlier, Paul?
You know, there's so much stuff now on the internet, and it's just hokey pokey. I mean, it's hard for me to believe. And why haven't they checked the DNA on that Bigfoot head? I mean,
we found Bigfoot right here. There he is. Tristan from Purple Sticky. Welcome to the show. A pretty big foot. Kind of looks like Jesus. Jesus.
He's muted. You're muted, Purple Sticky.
Oh, he is muted, huh? There you go.
Hey, muted, guys, sorry about that. I got real crap connection.
Oh, we expected that from you, but Tristan, come on.
Friggin' PG&E. You're muted, Tristan.
I muted my mic on purpose.
Oh, you did. Well, that's not allowed.
What? I was doing everybody a favor.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Hey, thank you.
So welcome to the show. We got Ewok, Executioner, Paul Dale Roberts, Phil, Regular Dave, me, and we have Ewok. Talking about some Bigfoot and some ghosts. Especially ones underneath his house by that chimney in the background.
Oh, yeah. Skinwalker Ranch. That was interesting.
That even looks haunted in the background.
That is some spooky looking work there.
I kind of chose this place on purpose.
That's perfect.
If you guys hear noise coming out of my background, I live around the corner from the racetrack, so they're doing races right now.
You're all sorts of fun tonight, aren't you?
Yep. That's why I'm normally in my office where you can't hear none of this.
Oh, jeez. So, Ewok, back to you. So, I tried to get Mark and Digger to come on here. I've bugged them a couple times over this past year. And they're not too into the paranormal thing. I think one of them likes to play around with it just to tease the other one. But it all comes down to this thing called juju. Why don't you go ahead and explain to a new Southern person like me and everybody else on here, what's juju?
Juju, karma, what you put out is what you get back. The golden rule, some people call it. Doing to others as you'd have them doing to you. Well, basically, it's how you doing to others is what comes back on you. So basically, it's what you put out comes back tenfold. You put out bad, yep, it comes back on you tenfold. If you put out good, it comes back on you tenfold.
So basically, when a bunch of pagans come and do a ritual somewhere with a bunch of Blair Witch Project shit and ginseng hanging from the tree, don't fuck with it, right?
Yeah, don't fuck with it. That was prayers and ceremony, and that's about the same as walking in the middle of a church and shitting right in front of the pulpit.
Yeah, I would have made a pretty quick U-turn. Like at that point, I would realize that this isn't going to work for me.
I'm not scared of none of that stuff.
Why not?
You know, it doesn't bother me. My wife's a witch. And,
So am I.
You know.
Oh, yeah, hear that from both of you. All right.
Yep. So, you know, I have somewhat of an understanding of it. So, I know just be respectful and call it that.
Yeah. They put that thing right in the middle of the trail, though. So, I mean, there was literally no way for you guys not to run into that. You would think if they wanted something to be respected and be protected, they wouldn't put it, you know, dead center in the middle of the only path in that area.
Well, running into it, and
it looked like a path, but it really wasn't a path. That was actually a small clearing right beside of a river.
So a grove is what that was.
Well, it's like running into it's one thing, but you run into it and you start cutting shit down and moving stuff around, and that's when
be on it, you know. But if you got to walk around something to get somewhere, it's. I know I watched a lot of movies, you know. Don't go over Indian burial grounds and all that kind of stuff, but that didn't look like an Indian burial ground. That looked like some Blair Witch shit, or you know, maybe some teenagers with wanted to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, at least Ewok was like, Ewok was like, nah, man, don't fuck with that. You know, it's be cool. There, dude's like, oh, let's go and just pull us out. It feeds the family. You're dead. Later on in that movie, some fucking scary monster is going to come around the corner and is going to cut your butthole in half because you had to pull this ginseng off the tree and fuck the juju thing up.
I remember right out back of my dad's business once, where we used to get there early in the morning when it was still dark, and the backside of it was dirt, you know, dirt road into it, and there was a deer head with the hooves kind of like crossed behind it, just right there in the middle of the driveway, kind of waiting for us that morning. So it's, I don't know. Sometimes I think people just have to screw with you.
Yeah, no.
Warning.
What about you, Tristan? Ghost stories.
What?
Ghost stories. Bigfoot. What's going on?
Bigfoot ghost stories? No, I don't know.
And Rakion doesn't count. That's a supernatural being.
No, you know, that's funny because I should say that I found Bigfoot.
You found Rakion.
I know where he stays in Westchester, Pennsylvania. He
Oh.
does walk around like a Bigfoot and like half naked too.
You know what we should do,
geez.
man? We should kidnap him and go throw him in the middle of a fucking mustard field.
Jeez.
He would hate that. Like what is it? Like mustard seeds or something?
Yeah.
Makes him throw
No,
up.
I don't have any ghost stories. I guess. I mean, something I've told people in the past. They said they can relate to. Maybe you guys can relate to. When I was younger, I mean, most of us can only remember back to like age 4. But so when I was 4, my family moved into we moved from a townhouse into like a nice size like 3-story house. And long story short, my bedroom had like, when I would go to bed, I would see like people standing in front of my closet, like they were guarding the closet, but they were staring at me no matter where I was in the room. And I didn't sleep for like 10 years. Like I sweat myself to sleep for like 10 years because like I had people staring at me. And you know, as I grew older, I realized maybe it was like residual energy of something that was just stuck at the house. Maybe it wasn't even seeing me. But has anyone ever encountered anything like that when they've, you know, been living somewhere and it's just something that's there consistently and doesn't even bother you?
I agree.
So, like Tristan, they call that imprints of former people.
Okay.
So, and one way you can get rid of that is to take sage and do what is known as a smudging. A sage smudge will get rid of that.
He won't try to do some smudging, but he didn't add no moonshine to it, so it didn't work.
Yeah, well.
What your parents say? I mean, as a kid going through that you had to share it with somebody, right?
No, I did not. In fact, it got weird too because on the top of my windowsill.
Well, look at
there
that.
would
You can
be
see my
stuff
dick from
written.
here.
Yeah, it said that. No, it would say. Actually, it said It said "Fuck you, Patrick" on my windowsill.
Jesus.
I was like, "Who's Patrick?" And so I took an eraser and I erased it. And I remember I was like maybe like 7 when I saw that, and it came back like written perfectly and everything. So like I was dealing with something that was like living in that room, I guess, like as an imprint, but maybe, yeah, when I would change anything, it would go back to the way whatever it is wanted it that way. And it was all through the house. There was different stuff in the house, but they were all in front of closets, which was the weird thing. They were all standing in front of closets, like they were either guarding the closets, or maybe if it was an imprint, because it looked like kids, maybe they were all hiding in closets. I don't know. Maybe some shit went down in that house, but I don't live there anymore. I just, yeah. Wouldn't know if anybody else encountered that.
Tristan made it out of the closet.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
I
trying
didn't
to
get
tell us?
stuck in the closet. I let the
Alright.
world know, hey, I'm out. Yeah, no.
I'm out of there.
Oh, did you ever try talking to them?
Did I ever what?
Did you ever try talking to them, the people that were in front of the closet?
Well, so when I moved out, I didn't there, but when I moved out of the house, I realized it wasn't the house necessarily. Like there's something with me, like I might have been a doorway or something. So I would start to go anywhere else, and the longer I'd be places, I would see whatever energy was left there. Sometimes things would try and contact me, and not to get into a longer story, but a story I've already shared with Leatherface in the past is I did have something pull my hair and start kicking me and like pushing me to the ground, and I had my family witness it. And so, yeah, I started speaking then, and it took a while, and it almost started as if like, when you're at a fair or carnival and you hear all the noise from the music and the people talking and all the shit, and then you hear like one distinct noise, like someone calling your name over all that. That's what I would hear. It would be really muffled, but it would sound like someone was yelling for me. And it just took a long time, but I had to focus. And then finally, I figured out who it was, and at that time, and actually made like contact. But yeah, so I mean, I have tried to communicate, but as of now, if I see anything, like it's not something where I can be like, "What's up? What do you want?" I only see like it looks like if you were to look out in a hot summer day, like a mirage, how like you see a puddle in the road. That's how they look to me. Almost like that Donnie Darko shit that came out of their chest. That's how they kind of look when I see them. But
so who did it turn out to be? You said.
We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. Okay.
Rake on.
I mean, I'm hanging there on at the end, and you're not saying it's.
Well, no. So okay. So who I was telling you that I actually spoke to, that happened 3 years ago, and that came from hanging out at someone else's place, and it ended up being Brian Dunn, who had contacted me. But this is after I had actually stayed at Bam's castle and been with Bam for a little bit, and yeah. So basically, the message was to befriend Bam, because he didn't have anybody that wasn't doing anything that was like, normal. He didn't have anybody like him that had kids and was having fun and doing, following their dreams or whatever. Everybody that he had around him was doing drugs. And so, of course, I look like the rock star type. So they're like, that's the drug dealer. And then I got thin like that. And
drug dealing Jesus. Oh, yeah.
I like Trailer Park Jesus, but yeah, drug dealing Jesus is where we're at.
No, that's a good story, man. Fucking Ryan Dunn.
Thank you.
Always be in our hearts one way or another.
Right.
But earlier I showed you guys a couple of funny videos of Bigfoot pieces. And I told you about a third video I found that kind of discredited the whole thing. And it's pretty laughable. But I'm going to go ahead and play it now. Then once we get back from there, we'll be wrapping it up. So check us out, and I'll be right back to see you guys laughing. Hold on 1 second.
This is where it happened, back here in this dry creek bed. I was back here looking. I thought one of my dogs was back here, and I was like, how'd the dog get out of the yard? I saw a bunch of movement, and then I got back in, and well, maybe it's a deer. And then I was worried about my dogs, because there's a lot of Bigfoot and Sasquatch in this area. I didn't have a gun with me. And so I got back here, and that's when I saw the female Sasquatch. She tore out of the bushes, knocked me down on the ground, and I thought she was gonna kill me. You know, I'm like grabbing for a gun, and then I realized I didn't bring a gun with me. I didn't have a dog with me. I was back here by myself. I was terrified. I was so terrified. It was so scary. And I wouldn't be back here right now, except I feel the need to like get over my fear and what happened. And what happened was, as soon as I was knocked down on the ground, she starts ripping my clothes off.
Fuck your ass, make you humble.
Me, and I'm like, oh great, what she's gonna kill me, they're gonna find my naked body here. It's worse. As soon as she got my pants off me, she started like jerking the ween.
We're just gonna leave it at that.
That was great.
So we
Here's
know
another
where the rest of the story goes.
It goes. So this guy banged a Sasquatch, pretty much. So I was thinking,
story for years.
and I just found his video. I was like, man, he got some, some Bigfoot pieces. Looks a little sketchy, but it's kind of interesting. Then I downloaded video 3. He gets a blowjob from a female Bigfoot. She rapes him and plays with his butthole and everything. Yeah, no shit. And he could have filmed it, but see what he's holding the gun. He'd been dead anyway. So that kind of that has fucked my other 2 videos up I had going on. So that was the end of that.
Banged a Sasquatch. That's funny.
Banged a Sasquatch.
Good
and that's
for
the end
him.
of it.
Can you imagine how much money you'd make if he'd have recorded that and uploaded it to like Pornhub?
Jeez. Man fucks Bigfoot. Tonight.
No, nowadays it would have gone like we got to cancel him. Like, is it bestiality or is this consensual, like a human, like fucking or what? Like, it would get into such a whole deep thing.
Yeah, well,
I didn't think about it that deep, but now that you say that, yeah, no shit.
I just gotta watch everything I do, so I'd imagine fucking a Sasquatch. You gotta watch it there too, huh?
It'd be damage control. He's like, yeah, I fucked Bigfoot.
I guess it depends on how long.
We're all trying to find Bigfoot. I found it and I fucked it.
Yeah, that would be one for the record books, wouldn't it?
That's terrible.
My son is 6'4", and I'm like a whopping 5'9", maybe 5'10" before the Marine Corps shrunk me, but he always gets pissed off because I used to tell stories. I think Face heard it, because every time people were around, they're like, well, how do you get so big? How do you get so big? And I was like, well, I was hiking in the Great Northwest during one winter, and I slipped and broke my leg, and a female Sasquatch came along and saved me and dragged me to a cave, and one thing led to another, and son, you're half Wookiee.
Everybody's fucking Sasquatch. All right, it's
How
Sasquatch.
Wookiee is created. How Wookiee is created. Bang Sasquatch.
Oh, my first wife was definitely a Sasquatch. Hope she's not watching.
Well, you've got like 20.
My starter wife was 6'1".
Oh no.
I had a girlfriend one time. I'm 5'10". I had a girlfriend one time that was 6'6". That was a big bitch.
He sure was a bitch.
Was she a WNBA player?
That is
no,
California.
she was actually a Golden Gloves boxer. That's the scary thing.
Wow.
Oh, geez.
He was what?
A girlfriend I dated was he? No.
Got you, motherfucker. All right, Ewok. We're back to Ewok again. We're gonna be wrapping up here in a second, but I want to ask you. You're doing some movies and getting involved in some things. After Moonshiners, after Appalachian Outlaws, what you doing now, man?
I just filmed in a movie back in February that's going to come out just before Christmas about human trafficking. I play an undercover FBI agent. And then we're working on something right now. We're trying to find somebody to pick it up. There's a script written. There is a cast for a movie called Dead Steel. That it's There's some paranormal. There's some Bigfoot. There's some moonshining. Really, really freaking cool story about a young man that's majoring in communications, and his college thesis paper is on this rivalry between these three moonshine families in western North Carolina, and then he just gets tied up in all kinds of shit.
Sounds like an adventure.
That one sounds cool.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Hopefully, we want to start filming in the spring. One of our where we thought we were going to go with it, and who was going to film for us, promote and all that. That kind of fell through because they were kind of flaky. But we're working on trying to get somebody else in now to do it.
Paul, damn it, you're still Vigo from Ghostbusters, a floating head and shit. I've always seen as your floating head the whole time. It reminds me of Vigo.
Oh yeah.
I had to get him on it. You too, damn it. You're just a floating head and a beard. There you go. There's some shoulder. We got some shoulder. All right, man. Want to thank you for coming out tonight. It's pretty awesome for this pre-Halloween warm-up party. Honor to have you on.
I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Love to do it again sometime.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I'm in North Carolina, man, so we gotta sit down and have a chat here pretty soon, and you do the likely-minded thing.
Awesome.
All right, who has the vibrator on? Who's that?
I was gonna say Dave's dildo's on.
Dave, please turn your butt plug off. All right. Have a good night, guys.
I got a phone call.
Sanitarium.
Hey,
on Off the Hook
you guys
Network.
have a good night. Good talking to all y'all.
You too, brother. Yeah, and fuck you, Rob Wilds.
Fuck your ass, make you humble.
Gotcha, motherfucker.